So we need to take some time next week and start preparing not just our minds and our spirit man, but our physical man. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And if you've never gone on an extended fast, there are a few things that you should do to kind of prepare your body for that. So again, we're going to cover that this morning. So did everybody get a handout? Everybody has one? Perfect. Thank you, Sister Mo. Okay, the first thing I want to talk to us, I'm going to talk a little bit this morning, and I'm going to try to move a little quickly, but I want to just touch on a few things because I want to bring to our attention the importance of fasting and the power in fasting. Not just not eating, okay? If you're just going to not eat and you're not going to mix a little prayer with that and you're not going to mix the Word of God with that and you're not going to mix a few other things with that, really all you're doing is just starving yourself. So don't even bother, okay? If we're talking about a fast, a spiritual fast. We're not talking about a fast like you do before you go to surgery or get blood work done. That's something that you do because you're about to have a procedure. What we're talking about is a fast, a biblical spiritual fast, and it is to feed the spiritual man, and it is to deny the flesh, okay? So anything that's pleasing to the flesh, that week of consecration, we need to be denying.
Yeah, come on.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to find out how alive your flesh is and how weak your spirit is. So I want to talk to us about a few instances in the Bible when people went on a fast and the results and what happens when we decide to discipline ourselves and deny our flesh and go in for the Spirit and reach out to the Spirit and petition God for some things. So the first one I want to talk to us about is Moses. I'm going to read in Exodus chapter 34, verses 2 and 3. And if I have any readers that would like to help me this morning, you have it in your notes. Brother Desi, go ahead.
All right. So be ready in the morning and come up in the morning to Mount Sinai and present yourself to me there on the top of the mountain. And no man shall come up with you, and let no man be seen throughout all the mountain. Let neither flocks nor herds be before that mountain.
Okay, go ahead and read on to the. Okay, just hold on a second. Be ready to read that next part. But I want to set a little bit of a foundation here. So what we just read is God speaking to Moses and giving him instruction. I want you to come up to this mountain. But prior to this, God is angry. He's angry because the children of Israel that he just delivered out of bondage and brought them through the Red Sea and did so many wonderful things for them. While Moses was up on this mountain the first time, hearing from God and abstaining for 40 days and 40 nights, hearing from God, when he comes down off the mountain, he finds Aaron, his brother, which was the priest, with the people, they created an idol, a golden image that they were worshiping. And God was very angry because they were saying, this is the God that delivered us out of our bondage. So he was ready to wipe them all out. You ever been there? He was ready. He was done. I mean, I feel like he was thinking, you know what? I created you. I can raise up and create another people. And he called them a stiff-necked people, rebellious, stubborn people. Sounds like the world we live in today. So anyway, Moses is interceding for them. Okay, he's petitioning God. Don't do it. Don't wipe them out. Then if you do that, then the people in Egypt are going to say he just let them out there just to destroy them and wipe them off the face of the earth. But anyway, so this is where we're reading from right now. Okay, brother Des, go ahead and pick up at verse 8.
So Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worshiped. Then he said, if now I have found grace in your sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray, go among us, even though we are a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us as your inheritance. And he said, behold, I make a covenant before all your people. I will do marvels such as have not
So then it continues reading on, and if you continue reading, I have that in your notes, and I encourage you to do that. Read. This would be a great time to read this during your fast. But if you continue reading, he starts giving them the commands that they are to follow. And if they will commit and follow these commandments and be in covenant with him, he's promised to bless them and to prosper them. So we see there where Moses is petitioning, right? He's praying, God, if you would, just forgive them. Don't hold their sins against them. We're going to do better. Okay? Now let's pick up in Exodus 34 and 28. Brother Des, if you would read that as well.
So he, which is Moses, was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He neither ate bread nor drank water. And he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant and Ten Commandments.
Okay, now that's a serious fast. It's one thing to go without food for 40 days, but to go without food and water for 40 days, that's miraculous fasting. And I can't help but believe the reason he was able to do that is because he was on that mountain in the presence of God, talking and communing with God. I believe that the Lord gave him the strength and sustained him during that fast. I don't recommend that you do a fast like that, because unless you're caught up in that seventh heaven and you're on Mount Sinai and the glory of God is engulfed you and you are in that place. I don't know that your physical body could do it, but God gave him what he needed to do that. But what's interesting to me is the first time he went, and if you read in Exodus a few chapters before, you're going to find where Moses had already been on this mountain. And he had already been hearing from God. And God had already spoken to him commandments. And that's where the original, okay? He's already given him. But then when he comes down and Moses sees the people and what they're doing, in his anger, he threw the tablets down and they broke. And then that's when God was like, I'm about to wipe them all out. We're going to start over. But Moses interceded and went back up that mountain, and for another, the first time was 40 days and 40 nights. He did the same thing. No drinking, no eating. So we're talking about 80 days total that this man has fasted and sacrificed to save a people. Interceded on their behalf. But the beautiful thing is, when he comes back down that mountain, the glory of God is so miraculous on him. He is glowing. But God heard his prayer. God honored his fast. And God extended mercy and grace to these people and the chosen people. And he continued to have that mercy and grace on them. As long as they were in covenant with him, he fought for them. As long as they obeyed the commandments, he was with them. He led them. He guided them. He fought for them. But if you read on, you're going to find over and over again these same people, generation after generation, they rebel and they go off wandering and serving other gods. And whenever they do that, the Spirit of God is withheld from them because they are no longer in covenant. Remember, the plan was, as long as you